Hello everyone. Today let us study about Ehrenfest's theorem. So what actually you mean by Ehrenfest theorem and what are the results it is going to give? So let's derive step by step. First, what actually is Ehrenfest theorem? Ehrenfest theorem simply states that the expectation values of quantum mechanical operators, which are nothing but the measurable quantities, obey the laws of classical mechanics. That is, the correspondence between the motion of a classical particle and the motion of a wave packet was first worked out by Ehrenfest, who was an Austrian theoretical physicist at Leiden University in the year 1927. So in honor of his work, this theorem is named as Ehrenfest theorem. So what is the use of Ehrenfest theorem? It provides the mathematical support to the correspondence principle. And the reason is that the Ehrenfest theorem is closely related to Liouville's theorem of Hamiltonian mechanics in case of classical physics, which involves the Poisson bracket, and here we have the commutator in case of quantum mechanics. So let's see how it is worked out. So in simple words we can just say, in the limit when the wave packet is associated with the particle, this particle reduces to a point and one expects the particle to behave like a classical particle. And in quantum mechanics, according to Ehrenfest theorem, the expectation value of an operator, it may be position operator or a momentum operator, it follows some rule same as that of classical mechanics, which is nothing but correspondence principle. First one is m into time derivative of expectation value of position gives you the expectation value of momentum. And the second one is the time derivative of expectation value of momentum gives us the expectation value of force. So we know that the expectation value, when we find out, it is going to give you the measurable quantity, which is nothing but the eigen value. That's why it is very important. In classical mechanics, we know that momentum is nothing but mass into velocity. That is m into v or m into dx by dt. And similarly, we know that force is equals to dp by dt. That is rate of change of momentum, which is according to Newton's laws of motion. And in the same way, when you consider according to quantum physics, we are having the expectation values of these observables. So whether these are valid or no, let's check out in Ehrenfest theorem derivation. First, let us start with the first derivation, which is with respect to mass into time derivative of expectation value of position, which gives you the expectation value of momentum. For that, let us consider the expectation value of position, which is nothing but integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star x cap into xi into dx, which is the definition of expectation value, where we find that the operator corresponding to the observable will be sandwiched in between the wave function and its conjugate. Then we have the LHS part as m into d by dt of expectation value of x. That's why taking the time derivative of expectation value of position, we get dou by dou t of integration of xi star x cap xi into dx. Taking the derivative inside the brackets, here we are having two variables, one is xi star and another one is xi. That's why we need to use the formula, that is differentiation of u into v, which gives us this equation. Then In order to simplify this equation number 1, we need to use the Schrodinger wave equation, and we know that Schrodinger equation is nothing but IH cross dou xi by dou t is equals to H xi, which is nothing but minus h cross square by 2m del square plus v of x into xi. This is already studied during studying the basic postulates, that is especially postulate number 2, which is corresponding to operators and observables. So when you observe this Schrodinger wave equation, we can find out the value of dou xi by dou t, so that we can substitute back in equation number 1. So just dividing by IH cross, we get the value of dou xi by dou t, which is considered as equation number 2. Then again in the second part of equation number 1, we need the value of dou xi star by dou t. So taking the complex conjugate of equation number 2, we get dou xi star by dou t is equals to minus IH cross by 2m del square xi star plus I by h cross v of x into xi star. Let us call it as equation number 2a, as it is derived from equation number 2. Now substituting back equation 2 and equation 2a in our equation number 1, we get dy dt of expectation value of x is equals to integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star x, as it is. In place of dou xi by dou t, we are substituting IH cross by 2m del square xi minus I by h cross v of x into xi, plus in place of dou xi star by dou t, we substitute minus IH cross by 2m del square xi star plus I by h cross v of x into xi star, which is equation number 2a, into x into xi over dx. Then substituting or simplifying this equation, we can just find out that the term with the potential v of x, they are having opposite signs, so they are going to cancel out each other, and 4 terms will be reduced to just 2 terms, and IH cross by 2m can be taken common outside the integral. We get dy dt of expectation value of x is equals to IH cross by 2m into integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of x xi star dou square xi by dou x square minus x xi dou square xi star divided by dou x square over dx. Let us call it as equation number 3. When we observe this, easily we can't just simplify this integral. So let us consider the second part of RHS, that is x xi dou square xi star by dou x square into dx. So dou square xi star by dou x square can be written as dou by dou x of dou xi star by dou x, and when you simplify using the formula, which is nothing but integration of u into v, we get u into integration of v plus minus integration of v into differentiation of u. So here I have considered x into xi as u and dou by dou x of dou xi star by dou x as v. So using the integration of u into v formula, we get this equation. So when you simplify, the first term is having the limit from minus infinity to plus infinity. So we observe that it is going to vanish. So we are remaining only with the second term, and second term consists of dou by dou x of x into xi. So again we need to use the formula, which is differentiation of u into v. So when we use it, we can observe that we are getting just integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star dou by dou x of x into dou xi by dou x plus xi into dou x by dou x is 1 over dx. because again the first term is having the limit from minus infinity to plus infinity, due to which it is going to vanish out. So finally, when you simplify this equation, we get the LHS is equals to the integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star into, again we need to differentiate, so we are having x into dou square xi by dou x square plus dou xi by dou x into dou x by dou x, it will be 1. So we are remaining with dou xi by dou x plus differentiation of xi is dou xi by dou x. So dou xi by dou x and dou xi by dou x, they are going to add up to give you 2 dou xi by dou x. So let us call it as equation number 4. Then substituting equation number 4 in equation number 3, we get d by dt of expectation value of x is equals to IH cross by 2m integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of x xi star dou square xi by dou x square minus the second term we had considered and simplified. So in place of that we need to substitute the value of equation number 4. So now we can observe that one term, which is x xi star dou square xi by dou x square, and the second term is minus x xi star dou square xi by dou x square. Both are same, so it will be cancelling each other. So we are remaining with 1 by m into integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star into IH cross dou by dou x into xi into dx. Here I have just taken IH cross within the integration sign, and we have seen that 2 is in numerator as well as denominator, so they cancel each other. Finally, we are left only with this. So when we cross multiply, we get m into d by dt of expectation value of x is equals to integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star px cap xi into dx. Because we know, see in the above equation, it should be minus IH cross dou by dou x, because we are having minus sign outside the bracket. So just make a correction, and we have the momentum operator value is equals to minus IH cross dou by dou x. So I have just substituted it, and we know that it is nothing but the expectation value of Px, and this is the derivation for first Ahrenfest theorem, which gives the relation between position and momentum, and it satisfies the same laws as compared to that of classical physics. Just the difference is that here we are having the expectation values of the observables corresponding to their operators, that is position operator as well as momentum operator. So first law for Ahrenfest theorem, which creates the correspondence or supports the correspondence principle, is solved. So this is just for one dimension. If you consider for different directions, it may be along y direction or z direction, we will get m into d by dt of expectation value of y is equals to expectation value of py. Or in 3 dimension, we can say that m into d by dt of expectation value of r, which represents the position, is equals to expectation value of linear momentum. So this is the derivation for first part of Ahrenfest theorem. Next, let us move on to the second part, which relates the momentum with force. So let us check out whether the time derivative of expectation value of momentum gives us the expectation value of force or no. And we know that force can be written as negative gradient of potential, that is nothing but minus dou v by dou x. or in simple words for 3 dimension it is minus del dot V. Again, let us consider the expectation value of Px, that is the linear momentum along x direction, which is equals to integration from minus infinity to plus infinity xi star Px cap xi into dx. Next, differentiating it with respect to time, we get d by dt of expectation value of linear momentum Px. Then substituting the value of operator Px cap is equals to minus ih cross dou by dou x. I am taking minus ih cross outside and we are remaining with dou by dou t into integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star dou xi by dou x into dx. So again we need to use the formula u into v when we are taking the derivative. So integration sign we are taking outside, dou by dou t of u is nothing but xi star and v is dou xi by dou x. So we are having two variables with respect to x. We need to use u into v formula, which gives us u into derivative of v plus v into derivative of u. So we have minus ih cross integration from minus infinity to plus infinity dou xi star by dou t into dou xi by dou x as it is plus xi star as it is dou by dou t of dou xi by dou x into dx. Now in order to simplify this equation, let us use the Schrodinger equations. Already we have taken the use of Schrodinger equation, that is equation number 2 and equation number 2a, which gives us dou xi by dou t and its complex conjugate dou xi star by dou t. Substituting it in the above equation and simplifying, we get this form. Here we need to see that the potential term is not going to cancel out because they are having the same signs. So let us simplify. Let us collect the terms with respect to the potential and the other term is with respect to del square or just dou square by dou x square, because we have considered only with respect to x coordinate. So when you collect the terms, we can see that minus ih cross into minus ih cross by 2m, we get minus minus will become plus, I into I is I square, which is nothing but minus 1, h cross square divided by 2m into integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of dou xi by dou x as it is into del square xi star I have written as dou square xi star by dou x square minus the third term I am writing now, again which will be having minus h cross square by 2m I have taken outside, and as the signs are changing it is going to become plus. So minus minus will become plus. We get xi star dou by dou x of dou square xi by dou x square into dx. Now writing the potential term, which is minus ih cross into I by h cross will get cancelled. I into I is minus 1 into minus will become plus. So integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of Vx into xi star into dou xi by dou x as it is into dx, minus the last term where you are having dou by dou x of v of x into psi. Here we need to remember that v, which is the potential, as well as psi are depending on x. That's why again we need to use the formula differentiation of u into v. So when we use it, we can just observe that last bracket is going to be integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star as it is dou v by dou x into xi plus xi star is constant dou xi by dou x into v of x into dx. So here we are having the potential term, which is the third term, and the last term same, but the signs are different. We are having the third term as integration from minus infinity to plus infinity v of x xi star dou xi by dou x into dx, and last term is minus integration from minus infinity to plus infinity xi star dou xi by dou x into v of x. So both will get cancelled out and 5 terms will be reduced to just 3 terms. Let us call it as equation number 6. Now we need to simplify this equation further. Just to reduce the complications, let us consider just one part, that is the second term, which is dou xi star into dou by dou x of dou square xi by dou x square. For that, consider dou by dou x of xi star into dou square xi by dou x square. So when you take the differentiation of this, we get dou xi star by dou x into dou square xi by dou x square plus xi star into dou by dou x of dou square xi by dou x square. This last term is same as that of the second term of equation number 6. So rearranging this, we get equation number 7, and now we need to substitute the value of xi star dou by dou x of dou square xi by dou x square, which is given by equation number 7, into equation number 6. So when you substitute, we can observe that we are having some terms which can be simplified further. The first term and the third term, that can be written as dou by dou x of dou xi star by dou x into dou xi by dou x. So when you use the u into v formula for differentiation, we get the same terms, that is dou xi star by dou x into dou square xi by dou x square plus dou xi by dou x into dou square xi star by dou x square. That's why in place of first and third term, we can write just this term, just for simplification. And we observe that when the limit is tending from minus infinity to plus infinity, the first term and the second term are going to vanish, which we have already seen. That's why we are finally remaining with only the third term, which is minus integration from minus infinity to plus infinity of xi star dou v by dou x into xi into dx. So minus term I am taking inside the integration sign, and we can observe that now minus dou v by dou x is sandwiched in between xi and its complex conjugate xi star, and we have the integration running from minus infinity to plus infinity. So that is nothing but the expectation value of minus dou v by dou x, and we know that minus dou v by dou x gives us force. That's why we can write d by dt of expectation value of px, which is the linear momentum along x direction, is equals to the expectation value of force along x direction. So this is for one dimensional case, and this is the derivation for second part of Ehrenfest theorem, which relates between the expectation value of momentum and that of the force. So if you consider for 3 dimension, we just write it as d by dt of expectation value of p, which is the total linear momentum, is equals to expectation value of force. So it is again similar to that of the Newton's law, which says that force is equals to dp by dt, time rate change of linear momentum. So again we can just verify the correspondence principle which relates between the classical physics or classical mechanics and the quantum mechanics. So this is the use of Ehrenfest theorem which relates or creates a link between classical and quantum mechanics, and this because of which we can just use the similar outcomes from classical mechanics and utilize it in terms of quantum mechanics. But we need to remember the basic postulates of quantum mechanics with respect to the state of a function and especially observables and operators. The observables or the physical quantities of the classical physics are now converted into operators in quantum physics, and the measurables will be always with respect to expectation value. So this is about today's class, which explains about the Ehrenfest theorem step by step. Thank you.